What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kasdan, Kid Spin, checking back in for week 5. I've got a fresh haircut, and I'm going to teach you some new skills this week. If you haven't been learning the moves, go back and watch videos from weeks 1 through 4, because you're going to need them for this week. We're taking it up a level. Last week we worked on transitions between moves you already knew. This week we're going to work on a couple new moves which are going to be harder than what we've done before, and we're also going to work out some kinks on some old moves. So first off is a coffee grinder. This is also called a helicopter. In hip hop, a lot of things are called one thing in one place and called it something different somewhere else. So there's multiple names for a lot of different things. But this is called a coffee grinder or helicopter. Again, I'm a mirror image of you. So this is my right hand, but I'm gonna be calling it your left hand, okay? Because I'm mirror image when we're talking about right and left. So I do my coffee grinder mostly with my right leg, but I can do it with my left. So you're gonna learn it on your right. We start off, I'm alternating my weight between my hands and my feet. So I'm gonna stick out, you're gonna stick out your right leg. You're gonna bring it around, lift up your right hand, put it down. Lift up your left hand, keep that leg moving, the foot moving, put it down, and then I'm gonna hop. Okay? So it goes hand, hand, hop, hand, hop. So that looks like from here, I go hand. Again, these moves are harder than the ones we've been doing before. Extend that leg, your left leg, your right leg is out, it comes in, lift up your right hand, put it down. Lift up your left hand, put it down. Then you're gonna put all your weight on your hands and you're gonna kind of hop, making sure that this foot lands back in the same place it was. So it comes around, hand, hop. I'll show it from the side. Comes around, hand, hop. It's key that this foot lands back where it was. It's great, all these moves are great if you can do them on both sides. Okay, next up, we're gonna work on our 4-step. So we learned this a while ago. We're just gonna improve it now. So our 4-step, remember, start here with your leg out. And again, it's great if you can switch sides with this. Switch 1, cross 2, arm over, straddle 3, arm over, kick through 4. Switch 1, cross 2, arm over, straddle 3, other arm over, kick through 4. So that's a 4-step. Now, what I want to talk about is where our hips are. So our hips, when they're down, I want them up. And when your hips are up, I want them down. So what I want is your hips, instead of going from all the way up here to all the way down here, when your hips are up, I want them here. And when your hips are down, I want them here. So instead of moving all the way from here to here, it's only moving from here to here. I'll show you that more obvious. So here I am. My hips are down. My hips are down. And then I go here, and then my hips are way up high. And then they drop way down. All my power comes down. And then my hips go way up high, and then drop down. That's not what I want. I'm gonna be really sluggish trying to move. What I want is for when my hips are down, they're up. And when my hips are up, they're down. So my hips are staying in the middle. What that's gonna do is make it so my power is going out and around. It's not going up and down, all right? So again, just like every sport, every type of movement, my power comes from my hips. And this 4-step hip movement is really useful as we get on to our power moves. So again, my hips stay low here and high here. So that makes it so that I can really get that big perimeter. The next thing I want to do with the 4-step is talk about air 4-step. So instead of doing the straddle on the ground, I kick out and straddle in the air. So this is called an air 4-step. So we're here, regular 4-step, air 4-step. So instead of straddling here, I straddle while kicking out. So I've really got to have my power going around so that I'm not slamming into the ground. That is my power 4-step. Do not expect to get that down today. It's going to take a couple weeks of working specifically on that. There's our 4-step. So we're going to work on some freeze transitions now. Last week, we worked on improving our turtle freeze. If you haven't done that, you got to go back and practice. But basically, your elbows are going to be where your weight is. And I'm going to shift my weight off. So I shift my hips over here, and that's going to take the weight off of this elbow. And then I can bring my hips back to the center, get my hips on this side, get my hips off to the side, and I can be only on this elbow as I take this elbow away. So I'll show that on the floor. I'll show it actually this direction. So my hips are in the center, my weight's in the center. Now my hips are going to go to the left side, and it frees up my right arm. Then I go back to the center. My weight goes to the center. My weight goes to the right side, and it frees up this arm. So I can go side to side with my turtle freeze. Okay? So it's all about that elbow placement. Now we're going to do baby freeze to turtle freeze back and forth. So again, if your turtle freeze isn't ready and your baby freeze isn't ready, go back and practice those. So that elbow is in the same place for my baby freeze and my turtle freeze. So again, for that baby freeze, my elbow's in my side, other elbow comes across, elbow's in my side, other elbow comes across, put my hands down, keep this elbow in your side to the front. If it goes out the back, you're gonna fall. So I keep this elbow here, and I get my weight on my head. Now, my left elbow can stay where it is. I take my right elbow off, boom, and bring it into my body for that turtle freeze. And then, just like I did switching the weight on my turtle freeze, I get my weight on that back elbow, lift the front elbow up, kick my hips through, get my knee to my elbow, and then I'm back in my baby freeze. Again, this is really hard. You might be able to tell because I'm breathing hard. You might be able to tell because you're breathing hard. This is really hard. It might hurt your wrists a little bit. That's okay. Just take a few minutes break, work on something else. But that is transitioning from baby freeze to turtle freeze back to baby freeze. The key is that this elbow stays where it is. You could do it the other side if this is easier. So this elbow stays in, this elbow goes here, then it switches, and it switches back, okay? Baby freeze to turtle freeze, back and forth. The last move we're gonna work on today is by far the hardest. This is, again, the beginning of our power moves. So a coffee grinder is a footwork move, but is really like your power as well. Four-step is a footwork move, but again, that hip movement gets your power going. Your turtle freeze, a lot of your freezes and power moves are built from that. Backspin is what we're gonna do right now. You can do it either side. Practice each way, see what feels better. Most people who are right-handed are gonna wanna lie down on their left side. People who are left-handed are gonna wanna lie down on their right side, but not necessarily. Try it out either way. Again, I'm gonna be talking about mirror image. So this is my left hand, but I'm gonna be calling it your right hand. So we're here. I'm gonna lie on my left side, which is your right side. Step one, there's 4 steps to the backspin. Step one, I slide. Slide like I'm sliding into a base. Step two, I'm gonna kick my right leg, which to you it looks like left leg. I'm gonna kick around, low to the ground. Step three, my second leg is gonna follow that same curve. And step four, I'm gonna get in my correct spinning position, which is feet above my head, not over here. Feet are above my head. They're not tight together, they're spread out. And I'm gonna lift my shoulders and my head and my hips. Everything I'm lifting up so that I'm only spinning in the center of my back. Only the center of my back should be touching the ground because I want to minimize the friction so that when I'm spinning, I can keep spinning for a long time. If I lay flat on the ground, my spin's not going to last long because it's my whole back, that whole surface area is slowing me down. I want to spin on just a small part of my back. All right? So again, 4 steps. Slide 1. So as I slide, my hand stays where it is, my hip slides forward so that I'm lying on my ribs. Step 2, I kick low to the ground and make like a groove that's going around like this. Step 3, I kick the other leg. That's when I start spinning. Step 4, I hit my correct position. I'll show it the other way. So, you're gonna lie down on your left side. Extend so you're on your ribs. Kick your right leg, kick your left leg, and spin. That's my bad way, but if you're righty, you probably want to do like that. This is my good way. Okay? That is a backspin. It's going to take you forever to learn this. Not forever, but you're not going to get it in one day. Practice this a minute a day. You might not get it in a week practicing a minute a day. It might take 2 weeks for this move, but you'll get it. But you really got to put the practice in. I suggest you take video of yourself so that you can see if the video of you looks kind of like the video of me. But if you just really pay attention to all the things I was saying, crunching up, getting your hips and shoulders off the ground, and connecting your 2 kicks. You don't want a scissor kick, okay? You want everything going around. Again, no scissor kick here. boom. When you kick that second leg, this first leg doesn't want to swing back. Everything wants to go around, okay? Boom. Practice up on it. If you start getting bruises, that's okay. Take it easy, practice something else. See you next week.